Greetings, my name is Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. Welcome back to Godbreaker. Last time we ran around, last time we ran around knocking heads in with the rat men and shooting people because killing is no longer wrong, and without objective morality, anything is permissible. And also, we ran around in some tunnel for a while. Oh, and also, a mantis man was a massive prick. I mean, I saved him from jail, and he tried to murder me. What an asshole. Oh, and also, we ran around trying to catch bugs. I still don't know if those are actually important. You. I hate you. Hopefully we don't have to go that way. Yeah, I think that's the way backwards. Hate those stupid eye creatures. The original game, they were pretty neat. But in this one, they're vicious bastards. Alright. That way, I'm pretty sure leads to that. Yeah, see? That's gotta be the tomb. Alright, so what's this way then? Hate these tunnels. So easy to get lost in them. And oh. What's this? Forging of Godbreaker. Jesus. Oh, bloody hell, this is long. Many have endeavored to record the acts of Sir Eldon and his knights, but alas, many have relied upon hearsay from distant secondary sources, far removed from the man himself. Threads of reliable accounts persist if one puts in the effort, but I fear that continued reliance upon oral traditions may muddy the waters. I have been thorough in my investigations of the events from the beginning, my dear Adhemar, and I can boast of several primary sources thought lost, and even one first-hand account. I have collected these and compiled them into a reliable narrative. And so I, Tertius, humble scribe of the builder, do now put quill to parchment and begin. The Forging of Godbreaker. One day, while Sir Eldon was at the forge, a great star fell blazing from the heavens and crashed into the hillside nearby. Eldon retrieved the shining black stone, and his men marveled over it. What is the mystery of this black stone? Some asked. Though it was a fire, behold, it is cold as ice. It's willing to sacrifice your love. It is surely a piece of the night sky, for it is black like sackcloth, yet shimmers like the starry mantles. Fun fact, meteoric iron is actually likely responsible for a lot of these myths about sky metal or whatever. Because well, meteors would carry the really tough metals like iron and what have you, but because of the heat of entry, it would be a lot of the metal would be molten, or at least soft enough to work with. And at the time, back a long time ago, in a galaxy, people, they didn't have methods capable of getting the really tough metals to melt. They didn't have the ability to get heat hot enough in a controlled manner. So these meteors were the only sources of such metals that they really had in molten form. And these metals would naturally make for really damn good weapons or armor or what have you, because they're... And so, as a result, there became something of a mythology around metal from the sky, which persisted long after such metal became far worse than modern metallurgy. Now, take this all with a grain of salt, because I made it all up, but it sounds plausible, doesn't it? Anyways, That night, Sir Eldon was visited by a fiery, angelic being in a dream. With eyes like the noonday sun, the being revealed a great many things that had been lost to men aeons ago. And of course the usual, these lost secrets of whatever. This sort of narrative of the past being so much more advanced or whatever likely came from around the Dark Ages or before, where things were, well, dark. A lot was lost around like the early and pre-medieval era. A lot had to be rediscovered, so there was sort of a mythology around the past being so much more advanced, with Rome and what have you being bastions of technology or whatever. And to a certain degree, it still persists to this day, although more on the philosophical and cultural level than technology, which was obviously worse now. But to be fair, quite a bit of their culture and philosophy are also obviously worse, but it can't all be discounted. Certainly, a lot of it, even the stuff that can now be relatively discounted, was the foundation of a lot of modern philosophy, and some genuinely was discarded when it shouldn't have been. The next day, Sir Eldon gathered his men and revealed what the angel had shown him. "This is what the angel has shown me." Yes, we saw that from the narration. "This stone is a gift from the heavens. With it, I will forge a weapon the likes of which has never touched this earth. We shall be free from the trickster at last. I will use it to cut through his armies. They will fall before me like wheat to a scythe. I will mount the oaken throne and tear the bramble crown from his head. I will throw him down to the earth and cleave him in two." Such a great cry arose that all within miles thought a battle must surely be taking place. Man and beast both cowered fearfully in their dwellings. Day and night, Eldon worked at the forge, trying with all his might to bend the metal to his will. No matter how hot the forge was made, no matter how hard he struck it, the stone gave not. He spent many nights in fitful sleep, awaiting the guidance of the angel, but it never came. In despair, he left his home and journeyed alone to the wilderness to seek the angel. After many days with no food or water, Eldon fell into the dust. Unable to travel further, he found relief and sustenance in the shade of a fig tree. That night, he was visited by the fiery angel. He was shown a deep fissure in the earth, where melted stone bubbled and hissed great plumes of steam. "This is the Earth Forge. It is the place of my kin and is hotter than any fire of man. Use it to tame the stone and create your weapon." Eldon asked, "Where can I find this place?" "Go home and gather your men. Bring them with the stone to the south. On the third day, look to the west. Follow the great column of smoke by day and the red fire by night. There you will behold a great chasm. Descend and drive out those who dwell there." The next day, Eldon returned home and did as the angel bid. Wait, drive out those who dwell there? But you just said it was the place of your kin. Are you driving out your fellow angels? Oh, whatever. After 3 days of traveling with his men, Eldon did behold the column of smoke. They did follow it, and after 3 more days did they reach the great chasm the angel spoke of. Eldon traveled into the chasm alone. Great noises, quite fearsome as if from many savage beasts, poured out from the earth, and the men beheld scaly, sharp-toothed creatures fleeing from the rift into the hills in small groups throughout the day. Wait, then why did he have to bother taking his men there if he was going to do it all himself? What, are they cheerleaders? After all the creatures had gone, the sound of metal upon metal rang out loud and clear over the whole assembly, and men cheered joyfully in celebration, feasted upon the scorched flesh of some of the fallen creatures. Many wineskins were passed around, and the men made a great merriment, for Eldon had begun his work. For 3 days and 3 nights. Yeah, it's always with the threes. Threes are a very significant number in mythology. I'm not entirely certain why. Stopping only for short moments to take food and drink with his men. On the morning of the 4th day at dawn, Eldon emerged from the chasm and held aloft a magnificent sword of black, shimmering metal. It was freezing to the touch, but seemed to burn like fire with Eldon's will. This is how Godbreaker, the sword that would one day defeat the vile trickster, was forged. Alright, good to know. Not sure why I'm carrying that book with me, but yeah, I'm sure it will be of some interest to some collector somewhere. Wait. I hope I don't have to, I don't know, reforge the damn sword by the instructions. One of those fecking eye creatures. Okay. What the fuck is this artillery? Ugh. Hate these things. See you from miles away and shoot at you from miles away apparently too. And they've got such massive vision range too. And they just never move! Look at this. There we go. Took me three fucking arrows. But I got it. God, I hate those things. This may be the first time I've ever said this, but what the fuck is that? But I'm starting to wish I had bought more broadhead arrows. The fuck is your deal? Why is your... Are you actually dangerous? Yes, okay. Wait, am I dead or... Okay, I'm dead. Was that just instantaneous death, or did it drain my health? Alright. Better be worth a while. Oh, what? What's this? Why can't I select that? What? Oh. What? What is this? Whatever. I don't know what the deal is with this. But I do know that this is almost certainly a waste of time. Maybe later. There'll be some reason to go there. At least that one doesn't seem to be able to hear me. Or if it does, it doesn't give a shit. I don't much care which one it is. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Moth. Where's my damn... Ow. Oh wait, no, that wasn't an attack. That was just the sound effect for that. Why is the sound effect so weird? Okay, that I think was a hawk moth. That means I just need 2 butterflies, 1 dragonfly. I haven't found any butterflies so far. Hi. This fucking side quest is so dumb. I love it. This is exactly the kind of ridiculous side quest it should be.
Is that someone?
Huh?
Wootsies. Bees are trespassing.
Oh. I thought you had already seen me. So I was like standing right in the open in the middle of broad daylight catching bugs. I didn't realize you were just stupid, not non-hostile. How about you? Are you just stupid?
Wait till you hear.
Oh!
Grimroot Bee's calling you when it be's safe.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was you that it was staring right at me while I was catching bugs. Alright, fair enough.
Sneaksy, Glimmergrove names you friend. You be's welcome.
Alright. Evening? It's nice to just be able to waltz right into a place and not be harassed. No? Well, maybe you don't. Evening.
Let's be attacking now.
How do you do, my fellow pagans?
Fools to things us.
Hey.
Well met, brother. I beg you, pay no heed to the state of this house of the builder. 'Tis a
Wow,
work in
a hemorrhoid in a
progress.
pagan place.
I suppose you're coming from
I've
the
seen
city?
everything.
Or maybe Blackbrook by the look of you.
One of those. Tell me, what's a hemorrhoid doing out in the middle of this festering bog with a pack of unbelieving pagans? Surely your sermons would be more welcome elsewhere.
Missionary work, I suppose.
This is true.
If you know what I mean.
But the words of the builder are for all men, brother.
True
It must
enough.
be proclaimed even unto these far reaches. If not me, then who?
Bugger all else, that's
Also,
for sure.
I just grow weary of seeing the decadence of city life rot away the souls of my brethren.
Ain't that the truth?
They've abandoned charity and have forgone the virtues of grace and mercy. It's become a
Yeah.
sad state indeed. But I digress.
Preaching to the
Why
choir,
is it
man.
that you come here, brother? I would
money.
think your motives much different than mine own.
I am seeking the tomb of Sir Eldon. Various sources point to this area as a good place to start.
Ah, yes, the Knights of the Shining Sun.
Zun.
Goodly sort.
What are you, a
though
sailor?
it wouldn't do well to mention them around this lot. I too have read that the tomb is hidden somewhere in the area. In fact, I meant to perhaps find it and bless it one day. Many years ago, one of my brethren sought the tomb. Old Brother Abel. He journeyed deep into these swamps and was never seen again.
I guess he wasn't able
Got
to
a few old
survive.
tomes on the knights in here somewhere. You're welcome to them if you think they'd help in your search.
I'll take all the help I can get.
As will I, dear brother. Sir Eldon's tomb was once an essential pilgrimage for our order.
So I've
The
heard.
haunted house was renowned for the blessings it dispensed to faithful travelers. But alas, I fear it has fallen into disrepair after all these years.
What doesn't?
As
you
I
know?
said before, I have long dreamt of blessing it and returning it to its former glory.
Seems like this whole
But
place
ill
is in
luck
decay.
and the trickster's foul legions have prevented
world.
me from finding it. You seem a capable sort. If you can bless the reservoir from which the font flows, perhaps you can banish the shadow which has fallen over this land for a time.
Huh.
Here, take this.
I guess this really was a public service
and
coming
if you
here.
come across the remains of our lost brother, please bring me a token of his fate. Abel was a pious man, and his rosary would not be far from his side.
That's a tall order, but I'll see what I can do. If you can make it worth my while.
I have little to offer beyond a blessing or rousing discussion of theological paradoxes.
I'd be
but you're
interested
most
in that.
welcome to anything of use you can find in this chapel. Additionally, in your travels, if you come across any ancient writings on Eldon or the Order, either from pious or pagan pens, you can sell them to me. I have a little gold left over from the city, but it doesn't do me much good here.
Alright. You're a good man, Brother Embry. Better than most. Certainly. Here.
Ah, you found one.
Yep.
The forging of
Looks
Godbreaker.
like there's gonna be 3,
From the
judging by
collected
that.
letters of Tertius
Maybe
the
4?
Scribe, if I'm not mistaken. Good find, brother. Here's a bit of gold.
Nice. Wait, how much was that? 870. So, 50 gold then. Fair enough price, I suppose. Considering how easy it was to come by. Only like the rest will be expensive. Get a little. I'll no secret area behind it. I'll leave it up. That's. Oh no. Barracks in the park. What? Okay. I'm going to be reading for quite a bit here. In my last letter, most excellent Adhamar, I informed you of how Eldon first forged armor. I included footnotes with some explanation because you had expressed confusion in other letters, and I felt it prudent to avoid such in the future. I apologize if they seemed patronizing in any way. I assure you that was not my intent. You'll be pleased to hear that the southern pass has now dried out since the thaw, and is once more being used as a means of trade. I intend to send you everything I have gathered thus far in the order, all packaged with care, by horse and cart very soon. Thank you for the lovely brandy. It has kept me in good spirits these past nights. For now, allow me to tell you of how the order was first formed. Once again, this is a compilation of accounts from various sources, some more reliable than others. I have tried to clean the dusty lens of history by separating fact from fable, but this is hard to do with scant primary sources. The founding of the Divine Order of the Knights of the Shining Sun. The trickster's forces were scattered to the four winds in fear of Eldon's iron-skinned army. None could stand against them. They seemed impervious to any weapon of the enemy, barring the twisted magics of the trickster himself. See, iron-skinned. I think there must be talking about meteoric iron here, or some such. Though Eldon and his people feared little from the forces of chaos, other men throughout the land still lay in hiding, fearing to journey from their simple dwellings. Eldon contemplated this, and called forth his closest advisors in council. There was Sir Marcus the Swift of Riverlands, Sir Laird the Just from the hill country to the west, Sir Boyd the Wise of Eldon's own house, and Sir Fergus the Learned, Eldon's own scribe from the eastern mountains. After much talk, the idea arose of a divine order of knights who would do more than just defend their own, but would travel to and fro, throwing down the trickster's temples and slaying his creatures wherever found. As a sigil, the sun emblem was chosen because of how the sun's light reflected brightly upon their armor, just as they were meant to reflect the light of the Builder to all men through jolly cooperation, and thus the Order of the Knights of the Shining Sun arose. All throughout the land, man began to creep out of hiding, and many took up the cause, forging what meager armor they could. The trickster's forces were beaten back. The way of things was steadily becoming inversed. Now it was man who roamed to and fro, doing as they pleased, and it was the beasts of the trickster who crept into holes and dark forests, fearful of man and his iron fists. Hell yeah, that is the right of things. Anyways, it's been quite some time since I rescued Hawthorne from the dread moth. I fear that is the only reason these people tolerated my presence. That in the Builder's fire, should any fell creatures encroach. Fire is especially effective against most everything that lives here. Despite this Still no progress on any sort of conversation. Come to think of it, that one thing that I got earlier might have been a butterfly, not a moth. The moth sounds like the moth is a particularly vicious bastard. Fortunately, I am a patient man. Repairs continue on this decaying house of the builder. The moths are getting more bold of week. Twice last week, I had to dodge small groups of them moving through the trees not far from here. Typically, one or two of the earthbound females were accompanied by several winged male guards. Whether hunting or scouting, I know not. Hammerite expeditions typically carry explosives to open paths through stone. If only I could find the remains of Brother Abel, I could gather whatever they haven't used to build some type of bomb. Then there remains the difficult matter of slipping unnoticed into the hive and placing it in just the right spot to start a chain reaction to kill them all. Of course I haven't the skill to carry out such a thing. Should the builder grant me the strength, which would surely convince this lot of the superiority of their woodsy demon. I shall pray on it. Well, judging by that optional objective, you might just get your wish. Expand an explosive near the moth hive and use it to wipe out the hive. Alright. Works in the parlor. Well, wasn't much. We got a second objective and, like, a health potion. But hey, anything you can spare is appreciated. I'll refrain from snuffing out your candles, even though I'm sorely tempted. It's a habit. I don't think I can climb up that. Can't find purchase. Oh well. Yo.
Sneaksy, Hawthorn Bee's needing your help. It's my precious twig. We
Your
were
what?
out gathering fruit and she spies some good jackberry up in a tree. We were too far from homes, but Twiggers, always she loves to climb and I was careful.
It's like a pet
to
or
watch
a
for
significant
creepsies.
other?
I look away for a second and then
both,
Mothsies,
knowing these pagans.
damn flying creepsy, swoopsy down and takes my Twiggers away.
Okay, that was definitely a butterfly then.
He's hearing her screams for daddy through the trees. Forever I use it. Poor Twigsies. My lotus petal. Father couldn't help you.
I'm sorry, but I doubt she's still alive after.
No, this be's happening only a short times ago. The Mothsies be's keeping their catchings always fresh until feeding times. She be's alive, I knows it. There be's a nest through crags to the west.
There's a bee's nest?
Hard to get to without wings, and lots of creepsies on the way. Hawthorne has no hopes of making it, but I be seeing the way you move through the shadows. A sneaksy like
Are you flirting with me?
might just be making it.
I'll try.
Oh, much thanking, Sneaksy.
That's going that way anyways.
Mothsies be's afeard of fire.
Make sure not to explode
But
at
Hawthorne
first,
be's
then.
having no builder magics. Maybe Embry knows. You goes now. Woodsy give you wings.
Alright. Rescue the twig from the giant moths. Ooh. Saw something. Is it? Yes, dragonfly. Weird thing to get excited about, but all right. That's three of. That's two of the. That's both of the dragonflies. Don't mind if I grab a couple arrows. We need them. And now I just need one more butterfly
Welcome, friend.
and a hawkmoth.
Greetings and salutations from Glimmer Grove.
Eh,
Word has reached my ears of Grimroot's rescue. For that, you have my thanks.
of course.
I am Cypress, shaman of Glimmer Grove.
Shaman, you don't talk like a pagan.
I am indeed shaman, but I was not raised in the bosom of the woodsy lord.
If I had to place you by your accent, I'd say you hailed from Blackbrook. A highborn lady, like as not. What's a noble from the courts of Blackbrook doing all the way out here?
You have a
Shamanic.
good ear, my illustrious rogue. I was indeed born in Blackbrook to a noble house. In my youth, I sought... Well, never mind all that. I'm here now. What no doubt pious undertaking brings you to our fair grove?
I am searching for an ancient relic. Its
doing
last known
public
resting
service.
place was this swamp.
A relic of the ancient order of the Knights of the Shining Sun, I'm sure.
Yes,
I recall the legends, but I've seen no sign of Eldon or his knights.
Well, yeah, they're
You could
dead.
ask Brother Embry. He's up in the chapel. He can be rather insightful when he's not proselytizing. In any case, I wish you luck on your quest. Perhaps, while searching for this relic, you'd consider helping us again?
and what would you have me do?
Deep in the swamp, an ancient woodsy temple lies in ruin. You may have come across it already. My people seek to return to this temple and restore it to its former glory, but it's currently overrun with Craymen. We've tried many times to take it back by force, but we failed, and now we lack the numbers to make another attempt.
It would take a sizable group of well-armed and armored fighters to take that temple back.
Or one.
I don't think
me.
I can help you there.
I suspect there is another way. A way more suited to one with your skill.
Suspect?
Before it became a woodsy temple, it belonged to the ancient precursors as a sanctuary to worship the elements, specifically one of their fire gods. Ancient precursor lore speaks of wandering fire guardians that protected the place day and night.
Well, it sounds like those days are long gone since it's overrun with craze. Not to mention the considerably damp environment.
I found writings that had been passed down to the shaman before me. They talk of a great mouth that was cooled with a drink of water in order to keep away the fiery ones.
Poetic nonsense.
Take the words right out of my mouth.
Perhaps, but I've pieced together a plan. According to the standard precursor temple layout, somewhere in that temple lies a brazier that was used to summon fire elementals. If we can activate it, they should do our job for us and destroy all the craze.
But then you have the elementals to contend with.
Indeed.
A single splash of water will snuff an elemental. Not so with craze. The elementals are the stone, the craze are the scissors, and you're the parchment.
Ha!
After they're destroyed, you must find a way to deactivate the brazier. Then, return to me.
Oh,
Sounds like a
it's
plan.
just that simple.
By all means, you're free to fight them instead. As long as the craze are destroyed, I don't care how it's done. Take it or leave it. If you try my idea, it should be fairly simple.
So you want me to sneak into an ancient temple that's completely overrun with cragmen and figure out how to kill them all? Sounds easy enough. Please tell me why this is in my interest.
Money talks, but I'm afraid we don't have much in the way of gold. This swamp is full of fell creatures. Among them is the giant dread moth. Their wings emit a toxin which will weaken and kill their prey, but I've concocted a potion which will make you immune to their devices for a while. Help us, and it's yours.
Right then. I'll certainly consider it.
Man, I'm starting to slightly regret coming here peaceably and all that. I mean, it seems like the minute they learned that I was a friend, suddenly it was all, Connell, do this! Connell, save my friend! Connell, retrieve my dead friend's rosary! Connell, do everything! Ah, well. Whatever. I'm starting to see why. why Garrett just knocked people on the head and was very averse to the idea of working with other people. Alright, my blood boils today. I accompanied Kevel and Father to the temple to discuss our upcoming wedding ceremony. When they spoke to a priest, I walked the perimeter to admire the tapestries. I was surprised to notice a young woman in Hammerite robes in one of the halls. It was my dearest wish as a girl to join the order and become a Hammerite scholar. But my query letter was met with a reply that they did not accept women into their ranks. I followed this woman into a small study and asked her if she was a member. The woman turned to me, surprised and wide-eyed, but offered no reply. Batilda has taken her vow of silence. I turned to find one of the brothers standing behind me. I asked if they accepted women. The man bowed and nodded. Few women choose this humble calling, but we accept our sisters with open arms. Felt lightheaded as my mind filled with questions, but I simply bid him thanks and returned to Father, whom I now suspected of misinforming me of my chosen calling. Yeah. I saw a thing where in a couple of the banned campaigns where it tried to say something about the Hammerites not accepting women, but I don't think that was ever even implied in the original. So yeah, it just seems to be something people made up based off of nothing, really. Or I guess based off of the fact that there were only male Hammerites in the first game, but that's just because they didn't want to have to make a new model. Or more importantly, get a new voice actor, or pay one of the ones they already had to do more lines, you know. I approached him later in his study and confronted him with my charges. I mean, why would they even refuse women? That's just silly. You were needed elsewhere. He refused to discuss the matter further. Naturally, he was referring to an advantageous marriage to Kevel, boosting his prestige in Blackbrick society. I couldn't help spitting on the walls of this place in disgust. I am leaving tonight. You skip a few pages. My journey has not gone as planned. I had set out at nightfall, intending to travel to Sirik. I first attempted to take the route through the mountains, but found that early snows had made it impassable. Skirting around them to the northwest, I was forced to either risk capture on the main coastal road to the west, or turn south and take the less traveled pass through the Lantern Marsh. I chose the latter. I was passing through the remains of a village when I was attacked by vile rat men. They took my horse and imprisoned me in one of the decaying houses. I could hear the poor animal's screams as they butchered her. They came for me at sunset, but just before I was set upon, a flash of green light illuminated the ruins, and the rat men fled in fear. What, did Gandalf appear? An elderly man stood in the doorway, dressed in rags and holding a staff. Yep, Gandalf. He put his hand out to me. We were now in a place called Glimmer Grove. He was Gandalf the Green, the elderly man of the pagan shaman called Bramble. He says that I might stay and learn his art of healing and potion making. Without a horse, this may be my best option for now. Moons have passed since my last entry. I suppose one would consider me a pagan now. I serve their woodsy god and drink their peculiar plum wine, and do not find it altogether unpleasant. Bramble is declining in health, and now he says he wishes for me to take over the duties of shaman when he passes on. I have learned much from him, but he now seems to want to spew all his knowledge onto me before it becomes too weak. Recently he has talked of a strange being called the Face Changer, feared and respected by the pagans, and spoken of the method used to enter its realm. An offering of insects. Oh, so that's what I'm doing this for. I'll have to see if I can borrow a spare jar from Magnolia's hut, but I don't relish a crawl through the caves. Alright. So now, after all this time of catching bugs, we finally know why we were catching bugs. No. No. So nice that I don't have to worry about waking people up. Ooh. Yoink. Don't mind if I do. Hello, I was just, doing something unrelated to the idol that is now missing. Does Ambry have anything more to say? Oh. Hello. No? Okay. They were just, I guess they were, when both of them told me to talk to him, they were just pointing me towards the that dialogue that I already had gotten. And they were both just like, oh, ask Ambry, ask Ambry. That's all they ever say. Ask Ambry, ask Ambry. They'll take your breath away. Never seems to bother them. Oh, Dad's a perfect backup. Never seems to bother them that daddies do a cracker. Ah. Well, I guess it's time to leave. One place that was actually remotely hospitable to me. It was then that they became horribly lost. Ah. Well, there's the, tomb. Maybe? Or maybe this is where the Cray are. I don't know. Also, do they care if I kill them or just... Oh. Or just knock them out? Okay. I don't know. Whatever. You know what? This is a perfectly reasonable time to stop. That's a good image. I should use that as the thumbnail or something. Very, intriguing. Actually, I probably shouldn't use this as a thumbnail. I should use this for the thumbnail of the next video. If I used it as the thumbnail for this video, it would be kind of misleading. But, enough talk. How about you? Alright. Today, alright, so, this episode, what did we do? We ran around the tunnels for a bit, then we did a whole bunch of reading, and got a couple of bugs, and several side quests. And a little bit of cash. We didn't really do much today, but we didn't really get much today, but we did certainly get a good bit of lore. That Hammerite guy, he seemed pretty cool. You know, delivering the word of the builder to even the places. And it's, and these pagans seem alright as well. Not only were they certainly far more grateful to me for rescuing their friend than that damn Cray was for rescuing it, they were also willing to extend a hand of hospitality to both a thief and a Hammerite preacher. And the preacher's friends, before his friends died, allowing him to stay there and proselytize to them and all that. It's a rare sight to see Hammerites and pagans living in the same village peaceably. And that preacher guy, he was right about the decay of the city, both physical and moral, even on the Hammerites themselves. Yeah, that place, what was it called? Well, whatever it was called. It's pretty cool. They're really in the spirit of the Knights of the Shining Sun, or whatever they're called, in the Jolly Cooperation. And I suppose in the spirit of Jolly Cooperation, I shouldn't feel too sore about being saddled with a bunch of side quests for them. Certainly not paying side quests. But that'll all happen next time. Frankly, I probably shouldn't even be recording right now. It's late at night. More like early in the morning, actually. I'm tired as fuck. So yeah, I'm ending it here. Without any further ado, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. So long, suckers.